Come on. I'm moving too. What do you reckon? Hair out? Hair out. Team, welcome to episode 2 of this awesome plant-based journey. I learned so much about myself in week 1 and what it takes to build that lean muscle. I made so many mistakes, all of which I cannot wait to share with you in an upcoming episode. One of which, particularly going out to dinner. Yes, there's plenty of opportunity for me to eat when I went out to dinner. A lot of plant-based options, but not a lot of them were high in protein. So, I have a challenge that I gave myself when I was given the opportunity to cook for a number of people at Charley St as an elevated plant-based dinner. Looking at most cases, people on average have around 20 to 35 grams of protein at every main meal. Now we have maybe 2 to 3 main meals typically every day, and you add in your snacks and across the board that gets you what you need every single day. Now, if I put that into account for this dinner, I want everyone walking away with 30 grams of protein from their dinner meal. I'm going to show you guys that when you go out to dinner, you can make the right selections to help you get the right amount of protein to help you also build the right amount of lean muscle. Time to get planning. So team, this is our menu. So what we've gone with. After discussing with Justin and having to think about it, I'm absolutely pumped by what we have here. Yo, pasta dough. Haven't seen this in so long.
It's like I can't.
Just going to the local pasta machine store. Okay, so I'm after a pasta machine. You guys have pasta machines? You have more than one type of pasta machine? Yes. Oh, just a roller one. Yeah. You don't? Okay, I'll find another one. Thank you. I'm looking for a pasta machine. No pasta machine? Tough times. Must be a shortage on pasta machines. Old Faithful, come on. So that's the second store that does not have a pasta roller. I did not think there actually was a shortage. Let's go. Again! Oh, I think I found something. Check this one out. Surely we're good here. Bingo. Just one left.
You know what?
We're back. Oh, here we go. We're on? Oh my god, it works. Oh my god. Here we have our awesome butternut. They've been roasted. And this is actually a shout out to my buddy and fellow chef, Guy Turlin from Bondi Harvest. Got this idea complete from him. So in Wellingtons, you typically see a eye fillet, seared off, some sort of prosciutto or some sort of mushroom base wrapped around it, and then again, a puff pastry. Why not do it with the wonderful butternut? So that's what we're doing today. Shout out to Guy, mate. This is all yours. Love it. Here's the puff pastry. Right here, Marie's actually doing the dessert. She's got ourselves going with a coconut-based crust. We're gonna fill with like a lemon, almost like lemon coconut meringue style effort. So you guys will be seeing that. And if I walk outside, the team's getting other delicious eats. So let's have a look at what the boys are doing. All right, big dog. What are we putting together?
Right now we're putting together some aioli for the butternut squash Wellington. Here's our filling right here. Quinoa, mushrooms, onions, garlic.
We did deadlifts. Yeah. Team, so as we talk about deadlifts, what is in your crust? Because big issue when it comes to making any form of crust that is plant-based is obviously the egg, because that's obviously what helps bind it together. Now,
And the fats.
And the fats. So you guys know Marie, Like any good restaurant service, doesn't come down to one person or individual man or woman. It's usually a lovely lady like this. But she's putting together the dessert today, which has got essentially our layers. So what do we have in the base?
So in the base we have flour, and then we have ground flaxseed that acts like the egg.
Yep.
And coconut manna, which is like thicker than coconut oil,
Okay.
and acts as the butter.
Yeah, so I think you guys may have seen this before. We use this for the Breville piece. Yeah. So this is where butter is typically nice and cold when you're using any form of pastry, short crust pastry, if you will. In fact, you want to keep your hands nice and cold. So ideally what you would do is cube your butter, make it cold, and then blitz that in a food processor until it gets to a nice crumble consistency. Because we're not acting with butter this time, you have to use something of similar consistency, hence where the coconut matter comes in, right? So it's nice and cold, it's hard, and by blitzing that or combining that as a breadcrumb material, it makes a really good pastry in this consistency here.
And then we add iced water together and a little bit of coconut sugar.
Exactly. So the biggest thing here, guys, is keeping your hands cold, keeping the surface cold, and keeping the pastry cold. Because obviously as the fat warms up and melts, it changes the game with your pastry.
We made lemon tart, plant-based, all plant-based.
All plant-based lemon tart with a coconut cream, cashew or cream, orange blossom tulle.
Yep.
Check this out, I'm going to show you up close. Oh my lord, that is crazy. Okay team, so the chefs are about an hour and a half away from service, and I want to take this time to quickly address a couple of questions, particularly one from episode 1, which is why we need that amount of protein. Number 1, we're having 1.8 times our body weight in kilograms because a formula stated that 1.6 times your body weight in kilograms will help you build enough lean muscle of 10% over that period of time. And we adjusted to 1.8 to allow for the fact that plant-based protein is not as bioavailable. Question number 2 is, why do we need protein in general? Simply put, when we actually go to the gym or do resistance training, we tear our muscle fibers due to that, obviously, the strain we are putting on them. And then what we do is we need to have protein amongst other nutrients and vitamins and minerals to help bring that protein to its source and repair that damaged tissue, which in turn makes it bigger, your body adapts, and you get leaner and stronger, which is awesome. So they're the 2 questions. Number 1, why we have 1.8 times our body weight in kilograms, and number 2, why we need protein. Thanks for all the questions, team, and be sure to keep sending any questions or queries you have coming your way. What a dinner. I truly love these kind of things. I get to be super creative, but it's time to do the math. Drum roll, please. So, the starter, that raviolo, that accounted for 11 grams of protein. Yes, our Charley St bolognese is pretty fire. Not to mention the addition of the cashew cream we had in there, as well as that delicious pasta itself. Moving on to the entrees, the 2 main ones that solidified a strong amount of protein were definitely the butternut Wellington and the field of mushrooms, which contained those ancient grains, including farro and of course barley, where as a result of just those 2 alone, we got an addition of 18 grams of protein per serve, meaning our total is currently at 29 grams of protein. But when you add in just the fact that protein is also around in other elements of vegetables, the entire entree itself across the 4 dishes, you have the addition of another 3.8, which takes us total to 32.8 grams of protein. That's before the dessert. And yes, the dessert itself had a plenty amount of protein itself, simply because that crust was made of wonderful seeds, particularly those flax seeds, even had a bit of hemp in there as well, which got us to the grand total of an additional 6 grams of protein. So, when you account for everything, this dinner weighed up to 36.8 grams of protein approximately. So team, if this has done anything, it does show that it is possible to do an elevated plant-based dinner that is also high in protein. It also proves to myself and makes me more accountable and aware of what I should look for when designing a menu for plant-based legends. Hopefully it's also inspired a lot of you legends watching this channel who are also chefs, or who you look after maybe certain athletes or individuals for their meals as well. With that being said, team, that wraps up this episode of the Awesome series. We are loving your interactions across social, so if you have not already and wish to, make sure you hit the subscribe button to follow on for the next episode. The team are loving the growth and the family environment we're building here. And as we sign off, let me leave you with my weigh in and keeping you guys accountable for what's going on with my growth over this 10-pound challenge.